Isn't there one called like Asshole Bear or something?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
And that's
definitely.
when they got shots from behind. You just see a giant bear asshole puckering.
That's where the power came out from the butthole.
No, that's Teletubbies.
Uh-oh.
Pinky Winky, not again.
Piggy Wiggy in the stinky. Anyway. So today we're doing an episode where all the movies you've seen, and we're just going to ask you questions about them.
And can I just say, this is ridiculous. Like, normally I'm the asshole who sees all these movies, and the guy who's like, I didn't see anything, is like, I saw everything.
All of them. Oh, my.
Boy. I'm excited.
Yes.
It's a role reversal.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Now,
Start us off.
Wait, I got to start vaping. I'll just go.
Yeah, you should start vaping.
Every couple of minutes.
No, you got to mute your mic, though.
No,
So you're just going to be seen on video going like this.
No, I'm going to exhale violently into the microphone.
Yeah. Start us off, Tommy, on the spoiler for
All right, so movie number 1 out of 4 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Came out in 1993.
And I'll tell you what the synopsis
Yeah.
is. It's the turtles find themselves transported back in time to ancient Japan.
And no, this is not the one where Leonardo is voiced by Johnny Knoxville.
I mean, that had a
Is
totally
that
different
actually
synopsis.
one of them?
Did you know that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
In the Michael Bay TMNT, Leonardo was voiced by Johnny Knoxville.
Get the fuck out
Okay.
of here. Really?
You got to look it up. I'm pretty sure.
No, you're
I
right.
won't be wrong.
I won't watch those movies, but go ahead. But
anyways, so
Yeah.
so the movie it starts off, they're in the lair that they found in the second movie, which is like such a cool, it's like an abandoned subway, and April shows up. She went to a flea market or like a Goodwill or something like that and picked up a bunch of items for the turtles. One of those items happens to be it looks like a lantern, an old, like a really, really old lantern from like Japan. And she gives it to Splinter. But while she's taking it to Splinter, it turns on and it starts to light up. And we're not talking CG effects or anything like that. It's practical effects, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, they got a light to go off on film.
And then you see her vanish in a electric storm.
How
and
the
then
fuck do they do that?
taking her plate. That is probably done with some special effects, ladies and gentlemen. That did not happen in real life.
Well, fuck my asshole.
But then takes her place, holding the lamp in the exact same way that she was holding it. We see his name's Eden Hansai. He's the one I was telling you guys about that I got to work with in a short film at my film school. He's playing a prince from Japan, one of I guess the emperor's son, named Kenshin. And he's standing there in April's clothes. So the clothes that April's wearing, now he's wearing them, like a cool leather jacket and jeans and stuff. And they have to figure out what's going on.
So wait, you're saying that April now, Megan Fox is turned into a Japanese prince?
Oh my God. Not
If
Megan Fox.
There is wasn't there a group of men stealing the other, like, the lantern from that time period at the same time? That's why they switched places. That
was later. That was when the turtles decide they figure out that they have to follow April back in time to bring her back to the future.
Gotcha.
Oh, Back to the
That's
Future. Right. No. And so Splinter immediately starts talking to this guy in Japanese and was able to figure out that this guy's from like ancient Japan.
As giant rats do.
Of course. And so Donatello's like, oh, so I'm going to explain in Corey Feldman's voice, because Corey Feldman came back. He was not Donatello in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
I got a little thing to read off the trivia about that. You want to hear it for a second?
Oh, please. Yeah, please.
The producers invited Corey Feldman to reprise his role from the first film. They told him that they felt bad about not casting him in the second one, but he asked them for more money than he was paid only $1,500 for the first one. He asked for more money. They told him, "Yeah, but you were in rehab," and that's in quotes.
Wow.
And he was denied the raise, but he was only paid $1,500, and he still came back.
Dang, he must have needed that
The
$1,500.
truths of two Corys.
Dang.
I believe the period of time he recorded it in at that time he didn't think the movie was going to be anything. That's why he didn't like raise a fuss that it was only $1,500 because he like 2-3 days in a recording booth maybe.
Exactly.
He's like, yeah, okay, I'll read the lines to your shitty movie, your shitty comic book movie. There was no, and like they didn't with the first one at least. They never thought it would still get as big as it is, and it is still like one of the top grossing independent films of all time.
Yeah.
And
here's one more thing for Adam.
Yeah.
It's often erroneously thought to be subtitled "Turtles in Time," which Adam thought we were talking about. You made that mistake.
Oh, you damn right I did.
And it says it's due to the fact that in the early '90s, not long before the movie was a popular video game released in arcades and later on home consoles.
Wow, I love how you totally just stole the thunder of Corey.
Yeah,
it's okay. I've got one more. On some,
I was adding to it.
Oh, you just jumped in there and hijacked it.
On some DVD Blu-ray cases of the movie, instead of a scepter, you see a sword, and this alludes to an earlier plot involving a magic sword instead of a scepter.
Ooh.
If you got a janky DVD box, yeah.
Huh.
Anyway, so, Tom, you got anything else to say about this shit?
Well, yeah, I was still going to talk more about the movie. So the Turtles decide that they need to go back in time to bring April back, and somehow when they grab all four of them grab the lantern or whatever it's called. It was supposed to be priests. They thought it was going to be priests holding it. But it ended up being the Emperor's guards. 4 of them happened to be holding it at the exact moment that the Turtles all grabbed it.
What a mishap. So they were,
and Donatello's like, oh yeah, no, they have to be the same height and weight as us, otherwise it won't work very well. Blah 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 blah.
Science.
And it just so happened that it was perfect timing that the 4 of them were holding it at the same time that the guards were. So they're transported, and so they. They locate April. Michelangelo goes missing because when they transported back, they were on horses. Michelangelo was turned around on his horse, and his horse ran off, and he got knocked out by, I guess, the rebels that were trying to like fight the Emperor. I don't know. But so they all meet up. They find April, and they bring her back in glorious fashion. And everyone's saved. This movie though, okay, when it came out, I couldn't get enough of it. I watched it, I don't know, pick a number, and that's how many times. I've seen it a bunch. This time around though, I got the same kind of feeling that I did when I watched Ninja Turtles 2. I was just like, is it over yet? I'm really bummed out that I felt that way, but the Ninja Turtles 1 is still, of the 3, my favorite, even now, and I don't see myself watching 2 or 3 anytime soon.
And of the old versus the new Ninja Turtles, which ones are better?
1, 2, and 3 is better than any of the new Turtle movies.
The new Michael Bay movies.
Yeah,
they're better.
Now, are you going to follow up with the animated one? Because I believe that still follows the storylines of the first one. But will you?
Yeah.
Wait, which is that the one that came out in 2007?
Yeah, that still follows the same set of turtles, I believe they said.
I might have to watch it then.
That one's brutal. Is
it really?
I actually saw that. No, I saw it in theaters. I mean, it's aiming for a younger audience, but they actually have some heavy storyline. It's
Chris Evans
violent
is the voice of Casey. Okay.
Chris Evans is a voice in that?
Casey Jones, Sarah Michelle Gellar's April O'Neil, Kevin Smith is a diner cook. Mako, this guy named Mako is the voice of Splinter. I want to know who the voices are. Okay,
I want to say.
I think so.
James Arnold
Lewis
Taylor.
Black was a regular villain in that series.
Huh. Very interesting. Tommy, why don't you tell us about 2 more of the 3 movies you saw this week? Because we ain't gonna get to all of them, buddy.
I think we could get to all of them.
Well, why don't you
Keep
start
dreaming,
up on
brother.
it?
So
Get to
the
it, buddy.
next movie is Brightburn. Came out last year. We
Yeah, which
actually had
is-
an episode about Brightburn, and I wanted to go see it. I wanted to see it for the longest time, and finally I was able to convince my dad and my brother and my cousin to watch it.
Hey, Corey, what's this movie about?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you asked, Adam. Let me read a synopsis for us all for a moment. What if a child from another world crash landed on Earth, but instead of becoming a hero to mankind, he proved to be something far more sinister? Question mark. Evil Superman. That's this
I
movie.
assume we'll get
Yeah.
cool stories and maybe some comic books called Superman Red Sun.
So yeah, I mean that's basically Evil Superman. I knew going into it that that's what it was going to be, and so watching it for the first time, I just kept looking for any kind of hints, or I guess would it be an homage to Superman?
I don't even really fully see this as a Superman story like everyone says. I just think it's about a deranged young man who was not understood by the Earthlings, and he just let the inner beast come out.
Yeah, and the guy that
I personally thought this movie was a pile of dog shit.
I'm right there with you, Corey. I was not a big fan. The guy that played the dad or his stepdad, David Denman.
I like him. He's from The Office, right?
Oh, he's a great actor, but the character was a dick. Like he got everything he deserved.
Seriously?
I think so. He wanted to get rid of him. He wanted to kill
he
the
wanted
kid.
to get rid of an evil child who killed his own family?
An evil alien baby. Yeah.
I'm all on board with this guy.
You know whose death was mourned. I didn't think I felt bad. The Noah, played by Matt Jones, the guy from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, the uncle.
The uncle, yeah. And oh my God, what a way to go though. Jeez.
They gave that away in the fucking trailer, and that killed me. Well, they didn't give the full. They gave away like a little bit of it in the trailer, and it's like, fuck you.
I didn't see the trailer, but oh man, it was basically like the glass in the eye, the jaw through the steering wheel, and I'm trying to think of the other ones. Well, the see, and him shooting his eye rays or whatever through the stepdad wasn't as bad as the glass in the eye or the jaw through the steering wheel. Those were the most gruesome.
Oh yeah.
And so then when he actually used his powers to kill the stepdad, it was kind of like, oh, you think the third one would be even more gruesome than the other two, but it was kind of
just based on how you described it. Can I just throw in, having not seen it at all, what it sounds like is we're going from a character that is still gaining the understanding of their power versus I am going to exert what I know how to do. Like, I'm going to show my force. Look at what I am capable of.
The first one you brought up would have made it a much better movie, but I think for some reason he just kind of knew what his powers were and started using them almost instantly. If I'm
no, you gotta remember it all started with the little girl at the school. He accidentally broke her arm. He felt bad about it. There's a lot of little things that kind of.
He didn't feel bad about that. He didn't
he had
feel
a crush
any
on
remorse.
that girl, didn't he?
No.
Oh,
I don't think he did.
okay.
At least that's what I took.
Okay.
But I don't think he felt remorse for any of the as soon as when he was in bed and he was being contacted.
Can you do that for a solid minute?
World. Huh?
Can you do that one more time?
No.
The sun, the Superman, in canon, evil Superman, the red sun, red dawn, red sun.
Yes.
Those are better than this. I don't know. Someone who.
Yeah, I think once he was contacted by his home planet, he just felt.
I'm gonna ignore me. Okay, cool.
I believe you.
I heard you.
I believe you, Corey. I believe you.
Well, your mother's named Martha too. Oh, let's
Are you Martha?
Okay.
I'm sorry. Am I having mic issues right now? Is that what's
No, you're not
going on?
having mic issues.
Well, your
I
hands
heard
are
you.
right over and you're kind of muffled a little bit, sweaty balls.
Oh, that's because I'm doing this with the microphone.
That's hilarious.
All right,
because
well, then-
Superman Red Sun, he's Russian, so that works out.
So let's transition into.
Let's transition away from bad films.
What's up, Martha?
Oh, wait, Tommy, what light should we give that film? Brightburn?
Red light.
Is it a red light?
Yeah, like the red sun.
In Turtles 2, Turtles 3, was that a red light or a yellow light?
Turtles
Oh,
3
yeah.
yellow. I'll give it a yellow light. Like if you haven't seen it, it's better. Like I said, it's better than the newer movies. So
Cool.
until I've seen the one in
If
2007.
you got a hankering for Ninja Turtles, but you don't want to watch Michael Bay schlock,
Yeah.
Or
All right, so-
if you're living in that specific niche of desire,
Hey
you
man,
go.
Tommy was living there for a while, so someone else
Practical
might be.
effects, baby. Practical effects.
Okay.
What's the next one, Tommy?
So this one's a classic, and every time I bring it up or I talk to someone that's seen it, they're always like, "Oh my god, it's one of my favorite movies. It's so hilarious and this and that." I can't watch this movie and enjoy it like I used to anymore because it's too scary of how closely it's resembling our society nowadays. And that movie came in 2006. It's called Idiocracy.
Wait, what's that? Idiocracy?
Oh yeah, Corey, what is that?
Oh, it's about
It's a Mike
Owen
Judge
Wilson's
classic.
brother getting chrono froze,
Chrono froze.
and he pops out in the future. He's resurrected, and everyone's a stupid ass, and he has to save the world.
So it's like
So-
live action Futurama?
So yeah, it's written and directed by
Yes.
Mike Judge,
I've seen the movie. I'm just being a dick.
and basically this guy Luke Wilson plays. His name's Joe Bowers. He's the at the time in 2006 he is the average American. Like they show tests, he's right smack dab in the middle. He's not as far as intelligence, physicality, everything, athleticism, anything about him is just right smack dab in the middle. He's the average American. He's selected to be a guinea pig in a top secret hibernation program is what I don't remember what the name of it was, but they're basically putting him in chrono froze.
I just
As
made
Corey
this
put it.
shit up.
It's great. I love it. And it was supposed to be a year, right? He was supposed to be frozen for a year, and then they were going to wait where if he was able to, if there was any negative effects or whatever. So then the guy that was in charge of the experiment, or he gets caught for like a prostitution thing, or they showed it really quickly in a newspaper article. So he gets arrested. His whole division gets like transferred, and the building gets torn down. And it was such a top secret experiment that no one knew about it. And so he gets his hibernation pod gets covered up in debris and all this junk, and he's forgotten about. And I think the best part of that movie is actually after he's like, while he's frozen in the chrono froze, you hear the narrator and you see how stupid society has become. And the best way that they show that is the Fuddruckers.
Butt fuckers.
It goes from Fuddruckers to
Butt fuckers.
No, it ends up as butt fuckers, but there's like 4. It's like Fuddruckers, then Rudd Truckers or something like that, and then Butt Truckers, and then just straight up butt fuckers. And they show like the movie that wins best film for the is just someone showing their ass.
So it sounds like
3 hours.
it's a extreme degradation in society.
Yeah.
Takes place.
And Dax Shepard is in it, and he's amazing in his role. And there was another person from 2006 that was frozen with him, and that was Maya Rudolph. She plays a prostitute named Rita, and I don't. She did a good job too. Like you find out that
she's fantastic.
500 years in the future, she's able to outsmart the guys as far as being a prostitute. Like she gets this guy to pay him to wait to sleep with her. She's like, "Oh, can you wait for a day? Baby, I could wait all day if you want." And she's like, "Well, I work by the hour." And so he's waiting to have sex with her, and he's paying her per hour for him to wait to have sex with her. And that's hilarious.
Did you know?
Anyway, so
Fun fact: Mike Jugg got the idea for this movie while he was visiting Disneyland with his family and saw two mothers with kids in strollers fighting and cursing at each other, and he thought it would be horrible if he was like this in the future. And
that sounds like a trivia fact. Did you put that in there?
No, that's on IMDb.
All I see is Adam's light. What is that? What's going on with you?
I'm
so anyway, while he's in the future, they make him. Everyone has tattoos. That's a barcode, so that they can scan their barcode. Well, he doesn't have one because he wasn't around when they were giving him out, so he has to get one. And they ask him what his name is, his first name, and he's like, "Well, I'm not sure." And they're like, "Okay, first name is not." Wait, it was either not or not sure. I think his first name was not, and his last name was sure. Anyways, so it's really funny. They have him take a IQ test. The IQ test was like, if you have a bucket of 50 this and a bucket of 50 this, and how many buckets do you have? And he's like, 2. And they have the shapes that you have to fit the shapes into the correct. And he ends up being the smartest man in the world.
So what does he do with all that information? Like what happens after they discovered this?
Oh, well, they make him the Secretary of the Interior, which none of them know what it is. And they want him to solve all the problems. Like there's the crops aren't growing because they're being fed by Brondo. Oh my God, that's those commercials for Brondo.
It's got electrolytes.
Yep, it's got what plants crave. Well, do you even know what plants crave? Yeah, Brondo. But do you even know what it is? It's got
water, from the toilet.
From the toilet?
I think my favorite part of the movie was when Carl's Jr. takes away a mother's baby from her.
Sprays her in the face.
Yeah, I think that's the best part.
You are an unfit mother.
President Camacho might be one of my favorite things about that movie. And the fact that we get to see another, the end of the movie gets another Wilson brother. The lesser seen Harry Wilson. Well, he is Harry, but that's not his name.
And then my brother's favorite part, he's actually shared this on Facebook quite a bit, is when they go to Costco and you hear, "Welcome to Costco. I love you." It's my brother's absolute favorite part. Oh man,
it's a pretty good movie. It's very funny.
A great movie.
The fact that it came out in 2006 too. I like it.
So
and is Fuddruckers? Sorry, is Fuddruckers still in business?
They are.
Yes. I think it is. Yeah.
My Fuddruckers closed down.
What? Wait, hold the Burbank Fuddruckers closed?
Yeah, Burbank Fuddruckers is
gone.
gone.
What's there? How? Why? What?
There is an empty building that still says Fuddruckers on it.
Oh,
Fuddruckers is staple.
Yeah, I know.
And apparently 500 years in the future, Starbucks is not for just coffee anymore.
What's it for?
Huh? It's an adult entertainment lodging.
Apparently, when they were shooting this movie, they went under the title 3001. 2001, but the original title for the movie I think would have been better. It was America.
That would have been great.
That's awesome.
Right, it's a good movie.
So,
green light.
What is it? Green light, red light, blue light, yellow light, pink light, maroon light.
I'm pretty sure that there's. I mean, I guess there could be people that haven't seen it yet.
Butterscotch.
Yeah, watch it. Please watch. I think people should watch it, so that we do not continue down that road.
So Brondo light.
Brondo light.
Brondo light.
The green of Brondo. Oh man,
nice.
Are you
saying? What about Justin Long? Oh, as the doctor, I told the last time when we watched this right now, I told my brother and my dad, I'm like, they needed to incorporate his character more in the movie, like how they had Dax Shepard return after that initial encounter in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They needed
Shut up,
Baton. Baton.
But yeah, Justin Long should have came back. We should have seen more of him. That one scene he was in was just
He wasn't a big
Hilarious.
deal yet, so
Right. No, I know.
I want to say there's a good episode of Armchair Expert that he's talking to Dax Shepard about
Mhm.
working on that movie. That's just a great episode.
How
of
he
that
talks about
podcast.
like going partying with the Judd and like the whole Beavis and Butthead phone call, voicemail. Oh, great stuff.
what is that podcast even about?
Dax Shepard just kind of interviews like celebrities and experts of different things, and
So
Just
it's like
conversation.
yet again another interview podcast because
Yeah.
there's so many interview podcasts.
But
yeah, but you're
it's
you're
kinda
going for the
deep.
flavor.
yeah, there's so
Yeah,
many movie podcasts, and somehow we have.
Is there so
34
many movie
episodes.
podcasts? Because I've searched for them.
Oh, they're there,
And-
baby.
Are they there?
Oh yeah.
We're
No,
there.
they're not. Everybody, don't pay attention to what Adam
That's all
just
that
said. They are not there. You stay with us.
Justin
movie
Long
Ghost
also
Land.
has a podcast called "Life Is Short" with Justin Long. Good stuff.
Interesting.
All right, so I can finish up this last movie.
Whoa,
There's not a lot to
no,
talk about.
Let's just,
It's
fuck the
I-
Beatles.
You got 6 minutes, man.
Oh,
6
we're good.
minutes.
We're good.
wow.
Do it. Do it.
So yeah,
Do
it
it. I
came
dare
out. It's
you.
a movie that came out a year ago. I watched it in theaters. We all did it. We did an episode about it. It's called Yesterday, and you don't even need to read the IMDb synopsis. It's basically what would the world be like if the Beatles never became a group? And so this guy, he's a struggling musician, and he remembers the Beatles. Some crazy phenomenon occurs where all the lights in the world go out, and then when they turn back on, he starts quoting Beatles songs, and people are like, "That was beautiful. Where'd you get that from?" And he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And it's Beatles lyrics, and they're like, "Beatles what? Like the car?" And it's not just the Beatles, but it's like what the Beatles affected. So there was no Coke, there was only Pepsi, there were no more cigarettes, and
I don't think Harry Potter was around.
Harry Potter wasn't even there. Yeah, so it was showing what was affected, and I think the scene that stole the whole movie was at the end. There were two other people that encountered him that were like that actually weren't affected by this phenomenon. They remembered the Beatles, and you would think, oh, they might get upset that he's trying to profit off of the Beatles songs and stuff, and they're like, no, we're just glad that you remembered, because we can't sing, we can't play music, so we're glad that you're doing this because the Beatles
And we've
were
been
such a
seeing these
great-"
guys sprinkled throughout the whole movie, kind of
Right.
watching him rise
Right.
to fame, and they
So
look
there was
very
a reason-
brooding and angry.
Yeah. So there was a reason to
Hmm.
believe that they were pissed off because they had like looks on their faces like, why are you doing this? But they give him an address, and he goes and he visits John Lennon.
Mhm.
And the guy that played John Lennon in the movie, I can't see. I had his name before. I don't think he was. I don't think he was even credited as playing John Lennon in the movie himself. But Robert Carlyle is the guy's name. He was in like the Full Monty, Trainspotting, and World Is Not Enough. Anyways, when you see him when he gets to the house and you see him stand up and he's got the John Lennon glasses on, I teared up, hair on the back of my neck went up. I got like that feeling, like that adrenaline. I don't know what else how else to
Who's
call
better?
it.
Who's better, him or Bruce Lee from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Well, until he took off his glasses, I would say that's Bruce Lee and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. No, this guy, he did a phenomenal job, and I think it was really cool adding that scene in. I was kind of hoping that it was going to have the rest of the guys too, and you were going to see them like all meeting up.
That
Because
would've been cool.
there was one thing I read about this movie that people were starting to get theories of. Was it that the Beatles never existed, like the individuals themselves never existed, or just the group, the Beatles, never got started? And then when you see that scene with John Lennon, you're like, okay, so each of them still lived, they just never formed the group, the Beatles.
I would have invented Coca-Cola. I could have made more money that way.
But do you know how to make Coca-Cola?
That's
Yeah,
a
it's
good
like
question.
caramel, soda water, and sugar.
Cocaine.
And crack cocaine.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Oh man. So anyways, yeah. So
So
that
what's your,
was
Other
what's your
people-
light, Tommy?
you know what I'm saying. Yeah, tell me
this
what-
movie. I think I gave it a green light. No. Did I? I don't remember what I gave it before. For this one, though, I don't think if you somehow get to see it in theaters, you don't need to. I think I gave
pretend
it a
that
light.
it's not theaters only.
Okay,
if it's
green,
streaming.
yellow, red. Yeah.
Yellow. I'd say yellow.
All right, we're out of time. Good luck, everybody. Good night. Tommy, it was fun. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone's like, bye.
Stay toasty.